Today is and this is Before the First Cup with Zori and Lady Pitbull on UCY.TV. Good morning, lady. Hello? For some reason, we keep getting kicked off this. Hello, lady, are you there?
God darn it.
I wonder what's up with this. It keeps hanging up on us.
It does keep hanging up on us. I may have to, hang up for... I might have to hang up for a second, reconnect, and then bring you in after. Yeah. Alright, guys, so we're going to be gone for a second, so stay tuned. Alright, I think we're...
Okay. Hopefully we're here now.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck was that all about. I hope it doesn't keep doing that. I can't do that the whole show.
I know, I kept seeing your little finger going, call.
I was asleep. And then I was talking with my mute on again.
I kind of figured that one. Anyway, good morning, everybody out there. Rough start, but we're here.
Yeah, we're here. Hopefully it won't keep kicking us off. My goodness. That was rough business.
God, man, we had... it was a trip last night because I was watching something on Facebook, and it came up that there was a shooting on the street where my best friend lives.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and I called them right away and found out they were okay, but it was a couple of houses down. Whoa. But they said every cop, the dog catcher, the fire department, he said there was over 40 cops there.
The dog catcher, too, eh?
The dog and a helicopter. And he said they heard multiple shots, but the rumor is that the guy there at the house was trying to commit suicide.
Oh my
so I told him, I guess the cops went and helped him out on that.
What, they shoot him?
Yeah.
Are you shitting me? They shot him?
Yeah.
No way.
Yep. Yeah. It was a trip, man, because, my friends were only 2 houses away.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Really, if you really want to commit suicide and you're like,
call the cops.
Exactly. It's copicide. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
And then, God can't say, hey, it's a sin to commit suicide. I didn't, man. The cops shot me.
Yeah.
In heaven, dude.
Yeah, because I was going to be going over there because it was my friend's birthday. It started at midnight. But I said, no, you can let I'll come over tomorrow. But, yeah, they said it was crazy. They had the whole street blocked off and everything.
Whoa.
So I guess I'll get the rest of the story today when I see him.
And they shot the dude, huh?
I guess so, because it said deputy, even on the TV, on the news show, they said deputy involved shooting. So, yeah, it usually means, the cops shot somebody.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is this. Yeah, and, it's starting to happen here. You're starting to hear more and more about police killing people.
Mm-hmm.
Either in a chokehold or shooting them. And they're always declared a good kill. Always.
Right, that guy probably had a gun to his own head.
Right, and
they
so
were saying, drop the gun, oh, we're gonna kill you. Oh, yeah. Sure, I ain't dropping this gun, I want to kill myself, you asshole.
Yeah.
Gee.
But, yeah, that was a little too close to home. My heart was just beating so hard when the phone kept ringing and ringing.
Oh, my God. That's scary. That is. That's right... pretty much at your back door.
Well, not so much that as my friends. You never know. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's your friends, and it was up the street from that. I mean, it's getting closer and closer to, and until, like, people experience these kind of things, like, more increasingly, you know, people aren't going to wake up to it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, though, and that went right into this. Oh, rat. Hold on. I have something in the background.
Oh, I hate that. Jeez. Oh, that drives me nuts. Especially, like, when I'm trying to read an article and then you got this stupid-ass commercial playing on the page that you can't shut off. It's just totally ridiculous. Damn. You bastards. That's all I gotta say. You bastards. Just like South Park. Wow, you still there, Zori?
Yes, I was talking on the mute.
Good.
Okay.
1 for 1 then.
Okay. Ferguson aftermath. California City tells cops to get rid of armored vehicles. The City Council of Davis, California, which isn't very far from me, in fact, has decided to drop the local police department's Pentagon-supplied armored vehicle following worries from the community that it could be used against demonstrations, as was the case in Ferguson, Missouri. So this really did wake up some people, you know, seeing that how they could turn on anyone, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it says the Davis City Council adopted a resolution this week that orders the city to come up with a plan to drop the MRAP, mine-resistant ambush protective, originally developed for the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and acquired by the city through a government surplus program. The armored vehicles have been distributed to local law enforcement agencies, especially after the wars wound down and the Pentagon's budget was reduced. A large crowd, largely opposed to the city's MRAP, gathered at the city council meeting for the resolution vote. A petition was circulated around town calling for Davis officials to get rid of the repurposed MRAP. I would like to say I do not suggest you take this vehicle and send it out of Davis. I demand it. I demand it, announced a man attending the meeting wearing a Tank the Tank t-shirt, according to local CBS affiliates. Many in Davis are concerned that the military vehicle could be used against political demonstrations or protests, as was the case in Ferguson, Missouri, earlier this month when law enforcement responded to civil unrest over the police killing of an unarmed teenager with what many saw as a heavy-handed militarized posture. So something good did come out of it, and I bet you they're going to get more and more of this, too. People want these militarized things out of here.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it will work, but, but the kind of like the backswing downside to that thing is that if people start demanding that their police become demilitarized, they're going to give us a reason to want the police to be militarized. That's my only... you know what I mean? They're going to cause some kind of nuke to go off in some city. And, see, look, you have to have police that are militarized now, or else you're going to be raped in the streets. Yeah. That's kind of like the downside, because that's how these people operate.
But you know what? That's what Homeland Security's for, not our local police.
Actually, Homeland Security serves no purpose under the sun whatsoever, except for a gigantic money pit. Yeah.
Yeah, but, I don't know. I think that watching that Ferguson thing scared a lot of people because they realized, if their law enforcement has these vehicles, that they very well and very easily could use them against them.
Well, it was when they started shooting, like, at the press. Uh-huh. And bullying the press.
And when they were... Now, remember, though, when they called in the militarized part of it, the looting was done. These were nonviolent protesters by the time they got there with these canisters and these tear gas bombs and stuff. The looting had quit.
Exactly.
So, I mean, the whole time the looting was going on, and they even found out they were bringing people. I mean, people were coming from out of town to do that.
Right.
But when they brought in their cannons, stuff that like the rubber bullets and all that, it was against peaceful protesters, protesters with their hands in the air.
Yes.
So,
yeah,
and that was noticed. That was singing on the TV. And, I mean, they even shot a guy in his own yard. He wasn't even part of the protest. So, yeah, I'm all behind Davis. Now, of course, the second half of the vehicle is of their police chief arguing to keep it. But he lost, thank goodness.
Wow.
So, yeah. And I haven't noticed any of our law enforcement, not here or the next town, having any of these vehicles yet. So, but then there's the problem. They have the cost of sending them back. These things weigh a lot. They have to send them by train, and it costs a lot of money.
Sure.
Yeah, so.
Sure. Maybe.
But these people want them out of their town. They don't want them, put in storage or anything. They want them gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that's what they'll get. I mean, I guess everybody needs to
go to the city council.
Yeah, do the local thing, man.
Yeah, it's the only way you're going to stop this. Because that Obama and them aren't going to stop it. They aren't going to, say...
Oh, hell no. They want to ramp it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was saying, they're going to... they're definitely going to ramp stuff up. And they might even give everybody, like I said, a reason to beg for the militarized police.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what we don't want that to happen. Oh my God.
Oh.
It's another stupid ad playing in my freaking ear, and it just drives me crazy.
Oh, and then Joan Rivers, I guess she's in a coma.
Yeah.
The comedian, and she had just said the night before something about my last breath or something.
Oh my God. Yanks-a-rama. I mean, that would be number 2 in the comic community then if she kicks a bucket.
Yeah. And you know what? I seen in this one, I guess it was in one of the movies or something, where Robin Williams said his birth date and his death date as, I was born here and I'll be gone here. And he said 2014.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I came across it. I can't remember what movie it was. Or it was that or an interview, but I think it was a movie. But yeah, it was really spooky.
That's weird when people, predict their own death.
Uh-huh.
The Mark Bolan of T-Rex, the singer, that he used to sing about, car crashes and stuff, and that's exactly how the dude died.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy when people can predict, their own... And sometimes, maybe if you put it out there like that, sometimes it could even turn into some kind of weird self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right.
Because, if you put that shit out into the ether, sometimes it comes true. Yikes!
Oh, let's help make this guy's little thing come true.
Yeah, right. Sometimes it's best not to say anything at all about it.
Here we go with these bomb threats. Remember, they're letting everyone in at the border. It says, motorists with ISIS flag makes bomb threat against police in, let's see, what town was it? Chicago.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
With an ISIS flag? What?
Yeah. Isn't that the city they threatened to blow up?
Well, I certainly hope not, because that shit's going to come straight for us.
Well, it says a man who had an ISIS flag waving from his vehicle is facing several charges after he threatened police with a bomb Wednesday morning when he was pulled over on the southwest side. Imad Kakura, 49, was charged with felony counts of disorderly conduct and aggressive fleeing and a misdemeanor count of driving on a never-used license. To Chicago police, he was also issued 3 traffic citations. A never-used never issued. Oh, a never issued license. Well, then, how do you get the license if it?
Well, there's
Yeah.
if you know the right dudes or whatever out there, there's
Fake.
guys that make up fake IDs all the time.
Wow. And yet, with this going on, and this guy, I mean, probably isn't even a citizen, and our borders are still open. Anyway, someone called police after seeing a suspicious person driving a silver Pontiac southbound in the 7700 block of South Cadiz at 9:18 a.m. and an ISIS flag waving out the window, according to police report. Officers attempted to pull over the vehicle, but the driver took off. According to the report, the officers called for assistance, and another officer pulled the vehicle over after it went through several red lights. The man told police during his arrest that there was a bomb in the car, and he would detonate it if they searched the vehicle, according to the report. A bomb squad, the FBI and Homeland Security responded to the scene and searched the vehicle, but no bomb was found, authorities said. Judge Laura Sullivan ordered him to held on a $55,000 bond. Thursday, he is next scheduled to appear in court September 3rd. But, I mean, and that Chicago is one of the cities that they've been threatening to come in and bomb. And here's this guy driving around.
That's nuts. I mean, I was half expecting you to say that maybe this is the initial report or whatever, but how much you want to... And of course, who came to, Now, okay, this is what bothers me about that whole thing. Why in the hell... I mean, I guess I understand if there's, some threat of a bomb, that they would respond to it. I mean, that sort of makes sense, but the FBI is now responding to everything, just like the cops. You know what I mean? They're responding to, murders. Oh, the FBI has to get involved right away. And
one, though, the FBI wasn't involved. This was just local police.
No, you said that the FBI responded.
Did I? Wait, let me see.
Yeah.
God, I'm not even hearing my own thought. Oh, yeah, because Homeland Security. Yeah, you're right. I'm
Homeland
sorry.
Security, too.
Duh.
That was cute.
Oh,
that's okay.
That was embarrassing.
No, it's all right. But, I mean, still, they just... So now they're responding like first responders, like the police. But I was half expecting that... And maybe it still might come out that this guy is some kind of freaking FBI informant. These cases usually go that route. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fear-mongering.
Yeah. So, look, we need to protect you more. Look at these crazies running around with flags hanging out of their cars.
Yeah, keep it in the forefront of people's minds.
Exactly. So, and guess what anniversary is coming up very soon?
September 11th.
Mm-hmm. So, they're going to ramp up the fear until that date, and God knows what they're going to pull, if they even have anything planned. I don't know. I don't even want to speculate, but we know Benghazi went down on that date.
I don't know. I think the more people speak out, and the more people are disgruntled, the more apt something's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the more people don't want militarized police on the streets. You know what I mean?
It's a double-edged sword. People waking up.
It really, really is. And it just seems to me like they're just itching for something to happen. They're talking that Russia invaded the Ukraine, which isn't exactly true.
Yeah.
All this other crap going on.
I don't even read anything of that, but going on over there when I see it in the news here, because I don't believe a word they say.
Yeah, I don't believe it either. I mean, because everything is a lie. How do you know when they're lying? Well, what? Their lips are moving.
There's type on the paper.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, so I just been skipping over it because we really don't know. They can tell us the moon fell on Iraq, and, people would believe it.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
And we have no way of validating it. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, unless you have someone over there of your own, there's no way to validate it. Just because it's saying it on every major media,
Yeah.
just means they're all reading the same script.
Exactly. And it is the same damn script throughout the whole entire interlink. So it's and that's a scary thing, man. It's hard to deal with. Although, this is a weird story that kind of has to do with like the ISIS thing, sort of. It is Obama's Department of Justice sues a Minnesota city for rejecting Islamic Center. So this is
Obama sued him?
Yeah, the Department of Justice has announced that it is suing the small town of St. Anthony, Minnesota, after a 2-year investigation into the town's denial of a permit to create an Islamic cultural center. So, we know who the DOJ is really working for.
They're so out of control.
They are just way out of control. I think that it's the small town's right to deny or approve whatever the hell it wants without the freaking DOJ coming in and freaking suing the town? Come on. So the DOJ claims that the North Minneapolis town broke a federal law when it rejected the center in 2012. An injustice has been done, U.S. Attorney Andrew Luger said on August 27th. I will not stand by while any religious group is subject to an unconstitutional treatment that violates their federal civil rights laws. Come on. God. I mean, really? I mean, they're violating our civil rights like by having the border open. Okay? So, what in the hell? See, they make a big stink out of these little tiny things that happen, but when it comes to it's selective enforcement again. Here we go. The DOJ claims that the city violated the law when it refused the Abu Hurayra Islamic Center the right to create an Islamic cultural center in the basement of the St. Anthony Business Center. The DOJ cites a violation of the Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act was enacted in the year 2000. What the hell? Oh my god, I've never heard of either of those things. I thought this was supposed to be separation of church and state here, not...
It hasn't been for a long time.
I know, I mean, jeez. In this press conference, Luger said if the local voters rose up to force their politicians to allow the Islamic Center to be established and follow its interpretation of the law, he would consider withdrawing the lawsuit. What? What? That's like weird blackmailish, don't you think? Luger may be putting hope in the wrong people, however, as many voters actually spoke out against the center at a city council meeting in June 2012. Now, look, if you had a city council meeting that most of the people were in disagreement, wouldn't you vote not to put the damn thing in? Like, if most of your constituents were saying, no, we don't want that here, you would go along with what the voters that you put you in office, voters' wishes. That's all they're doing. It's not like they're on purpose violating their civil liberties or their civil rights. It's ridiculous. Let's see. But the city fathers insist that the decision to deny the permit is based solely on zoning issues and had nothing to do with religion. Okay, whatever. Religious uses of any type are allowed in the vast majority of the city. City Attorney Jay Lindgren said they are just not allowed to in the roughly 5% of the city that is reserved for industrial uses. An industrial zone is designed to create jobs and be an economic engine. Okay, so I don't understand why the DOJ is getting all their panties in a bunch over this. To buttress its case, the DOJ claimed that there were examples of, in the past, of the city allowing some religious groups to be in the zoned areas, and would also allowing non-industrial uses. But Lindgren said that the city has denied permits to religious sects other than Muslims in the past, proving, he said, that the town isn't discriminating against Muslims. The city will vigorously defend its actions, Lindgren said this week. Doesn't matter whether it's a mosque, a synagogue, or a church. None are allowed in that area intended for manufacturing and offices where jobs are put into place. So, the DOJ is running around making a big deal out of virtually nothing. And but guarantee you, if it was a Baptist church or something like that, you would not hear the DOJ even with a peep. I can guarantee that. Guarantee it.
Yeah, and it's becoming so out there. I mean, it's blatant now. I mean, anyone can see it. It used to take people to connect the dots that had this ability. Not anymore. It's just right there.
Yeah, it's out for everyone to see, and they don't give a crap who sees it now.
I just come across this, says D.C. immigration protests, 145 arrests, 0 documentation checks. I mean, it's like you don't even ask if someone even looks like they're Mexican or might be an illegal immigrant. You don't even ask them for ID. And then at the same time, it says Houston, Texas, more than 3 tons of drugs were seized by the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol in El Paso, Texas area during the last 7 days.
Wait, let's read that. 3 tons in 7 days?
Tons of drugs were seized, and a total of 28 drug busts were made during that time period. About 6,000 pounds of marijuana, 8 pounds of methamphetamines, and 8 pounds of heroin were confiscated by officers during their seizures, according to a CBP press release.
That doesn't sound like. I'm sorry. It doesn't. That doesn't sound like it adds up to 3 tons, does it?
It doesn't. 6,000 pounds is 3 tons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It says some steroids were also seized by authorities during the bust. About 5.7 pounds of heroin, wow, were discovered by authorities during one bust, which occurred on August 25th alone. So this is where they are. They're letting all the immigration in, and they're over there to make their drug busts.
Oh, hell yeah.
They need to supply their dealers with the drugs to get out to the people.
That's right.
That's my philosophy on it.
And now there's record overdoses all over the country.
Oh, in New York City especially.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible.
Yep.
The increase in it. In fact, we just had 3 teenagers. One died. They found some white powdery stuff in one of the kids' garage, and they snorted it. One kid died, and the other 2 are in critical condition.
Oh,
they don't know what kind of poison it was. They thought it was cocaine.
Oh, my God.
6 years old.
Freaking Drano.
Yeah, it could have been. I don't know.
Kids are so stupid nowadays.
Yeah. So, okay, and then to go on with this one. Pounds of heroin were discovered by authorities during one bust, which occurred on August 25th alone. A drug-sniffing dog ultimately discovered the drugs in one vehicle, which was being driven by a Mexican man. 25 heroin-filled packages were hidden in the oil pan of the vehicle. According to CBP, the suspect in that drug bust was 28-year-old Herberto Ponce Oropeza. Oropeza is a resident of Sonora, Mexico. He is currently in the custody of U.S. Immigration Enforcement. Let's see. Texas spoke with a spokesman from CBP El Paso sector who said that there has been an increase in apprehensions over the last year. But, where I'm thinking, so they could put all these on catching the drugs while, and all the diseases and everything that all these people are bringing over by the thousands every day is nothing to be looked at. It just, I don't know. It just don't make no sense. And we gotta close those borders one way or another. I mean, it can affect every single one of us.
Oh, it already is. It already has.
Yeah, and it's getting worse. And now Obama is threatening to give them all, make them all legal.
Yeah, amnesty
too. Yeah, all 6 million of them.
Yeah, with a stroke of an executive order, without congressional approval.
Right, because he says Congress isn't doing anything. But you know what? He can't do it just with a stroke of a pen. But he could. No, he can do executive orders around it. But he should be able to. He's the president, and he is supposed to control our borders. That's not on states. That's on the executive.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe he can.
Well, I think that
I don't know about giving all those people amnesty isn't really protecting our borders, though. That is a different thing.
Oh, no. And they're bringing a lot more than just drugs over the border, let me tell you right now.
A lot of disease, and they're already distributing them. And then my governor goes out there and says, all immigrants are welcome in California, illegal or not.
Your governor is a whack job, dude, I have to say that.
And it's all because the president of Mexico was here.
My governor is a Nazi. But your governor is completely, out of his freaking mind.
Oh, yeah, he is. And we're getting a lot of the immigrants down south. I haven't seen any infiltration up here. But I guess down south, man, it's bad.
I would almost rather have, my governor.
At least trying to protect, your country.
Yeah, and we're a border state, too. So, because Michigan borders Canada.
Oh, yeah, up there, but, yeah. And you haven't seen a rush of Canadians running down here, have you?
Well, not yet. I mean, I have a feeling that's coming next.
Yeah, it'll be us running up there, since our country's being taken over.
Yeah.
Now, this is a real problem.
Freaking Canucks lining the freaking... Oh, my God, I can't even imagine that. Jeez. We're getting away because the hockey season sucked. We haven't won the cup. We need to migrate. We have to migrate, eh?
Yeah, I guess, the Border Patrol must be not centering on those people at all, because it says here, we've seen a 9% increase in the fiscal year in apprehensions, the spokesman said. We're talking about roughly 10,800 last year to about 11,200 this year. He pointed out, however, that not all apprehensions are drug-related. When we get any types of narcotics, there's always someone in possession, most of the time. It's an illegal alien, he continued. But, for them to catch that many drugs coming across, then it seems like all their energy must be in that. Because, from what I've seen from the videos and from people talking about down all along the border where the illegals are coming across, there's only 10, 15 border patrol working that area.
Right.
So,
and they're not even working anymore.
Right.
They're just sitting back letting them come through. Holy crap.
And it also, large marijuana seizures have been frequent near the U.S.-Mexican border this year. In the spring, $10 million drug busts are now a weekly occurrence in South Texas.
My goodness.
Wow.
This is creating a giant freaking epidemic.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of it is because our government, who is the biggest drug cartel on the freaking planet, is allowing this to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not a good thing.
I mean, they're shipping it probably straight from freaking Afghanistan, right? And, it's coming in from... They're giving it to the drug cartels there, and then the drug cartels ship it over to their fucking little coyotes or whatever the hell they're called.
Yeah.
And here it comes.
Charlie wants to come on.
Oh!
We got Charlie!
Oh my god, I didn't even see that! Oh my god! Okay, here we go. Let's see. I gotta figure this out. You there, Sean? I could be there. Wait, let me see. Ding, 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 ding. Let's see. Trying to.
Get the male side of this. Okay, it shows him on.
There.
Yeah, are you there?
Let's see.
Charlie?
It's ringing. There.
Oh.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, dude, what's up?
Hey, I wanna say that people are being apprehended at the border.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I robbed a Taco Bell and got arrested.
Oh my god.
That's about the only way you're gonna get apprehended at the border is if you rob a Taco Bell.
Well, I've heard that the police aren't supposed to arrest Mexicans down around along the border and stuff. They're not even supposed to ask them for ID. Is that true? Or they get stopped and they get released?
I think what they're doing is as soon as they come across, they're handed weapons and all kinds of gear, like a backpack full of like things called terror bags, and then they just let them into America.
I wouldn't doubt it. Like the Happy Meal, huh?
Bag o' terror.
You sound funny. Are you talking on a phone or something?
I'm on a tablet.
I
sounds
see.
Like a speakerphone, yeah.
Better enough.
That's cool.
It's okay. There's just a little echo. It's fine.
Yeah, no problem.
If it's bad, I can. I jumped on. I can always head over to the PC.
No, you're all right.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can hear you. What worries me a lot about all this open border crap is the freaking diseases that are gonna come migrating over.
Yeah.
That are already here, actually.
Yep.
They're saying that. Oh man, I think my computer just froze.
No, it's not. I mean, I didn't think heroin mostly came in through Mexico, though. I thought it came in like through Florida and stuff from Afghanistan.
Well, it comes from there too. But yeah. It's if they want, they've got this opportunity now with this open border to bring in like freaking 4 times as much heroin than just their conventional means that's worked for them in the past.
Right, put them on backpacks so the little kids coming in.
Yeah, exactly. They could ship in twice as much.
Yeah, and then the little kids could distribute it to all the cities. This is nuts. It is absolutely nuts. Can you imagine how stupid we look to other countries? We can't even control our own borders, but we're out there trying to save the world, where everywhere we go, there's war and problems and death and destruction.
That's right.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter because they're just trying to destroy our image anyway. So,
well, they've done a damn good job of it.
That's part of the whole plan to make us look like we're
warmongers. That we are. Yep.
Bullies, so that when the Red Dawn happens, that
everybody will be cheering.
It'll be justified. That's right.
Yep.
The great Satan.
That's right.
And people got to understand this affects them personally because they are doing this in our name. They represent us.
Yep. It's about us. It's about us looking as bad as possible and looking like the bully of the world, being associated with those pricks in
ISIS
so that when the shit comes down, that will be that way. It'll be whatever happens to this country, it'll be justified because everything's been done in our name.
That's right.
That's right. You know, I mean, all the innocent people. I mean, you show pictures of before we went to Iraq and after we went to Iraq. You show pictures before we went into Syria and after we went into Syria. All we do is you know, I can see why Iran wants nuclear weapons, man, to defend themselves from us. I don't see why every country doesn't want to be able to defend themselves from the United States. It's barbaric is what we're doing. And people got to realize that it's not, they can't just say it's our government. That's our government. That's the word there, our. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know how they're going to stop all this crap coming in through the border. I mean, there's not only are there diseases and drugs, but there's terrorists coming over from there too, and freaking massive amounts of Chinese people. I mean, everybody's coming over. It's just a freaking free-for-all down there right now.
Yeah,
the Red Dawn already happened.
Yeah, Red Dawn's happening in, like, what, slow motion? Slow motion because nobody's really, you know, up in arms. They don't have
that
to
guy
have, like,
driving around with that ISIS flag out his window.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, dude.
Well, this is one of the things that is such horrific bullshit that that when I think about it, it's so unbelievable how the public is so incredibly naive and mostly most of them don't even care. They want to believe. I mean, it's about drama, you know. People want to be entertained. So on some level, this whole terrorism thing is just drama.
It is. Well, it's because it's been used in that manner. It's been used that way, like on TV, and they bashed our heads with terrorism for the last 10, 12 years or 14 years since 9/11, and so people are not mind numb to it.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know if you know, but Al Qaeda's got their own magazine, Al Qaeda Weekly.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, Jules covered that quite some time ago.
Al Qaeda magazine.
Yeah.
Distributed here?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing too. They communicate, or these groups, these terror groups, they communicate on Twitter.
I know. It's like, let's send a tweet.
I know.
Them to communicate on Twitter. It's so ridiculous.
No.
Yet they're spying. They're recording everything that we say and do, and then how blatantly for them to do it on Twitter.
We can track them better when they're communicating on the Twitter.
Yeah. I'm laughing, but it's true, and it's the same shit that happened when that airliner went down. Oh well, how did the Pentagon hear about it? Well, it was on Twitter. You know what I mean? Where do they get information from? Twitter. They just, I don't know. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And who's got their little hand on the? Who's really got that little finger on the button of the Twitter button for Al Qaeda magazine and telling everybody what to do? Really? Come on. I mean,
like all this stuff about the American Al Qaeda and the American or people from all over the world, even if they're not Muslim or whatever, that they're joining IS, and it's like, I just, I can't believe that people fall for this bullshit.
And they keep ramming it.
If you see any one of these people on the news or anything like that, they're freaking alphabet agency.
Yes, yeah. They're always alphabet agency of some type, and they're ramming that idea down our throat.
I know. What was it? Last thing I read was 200 Americans fighting alongside ISIS.
Yeah, yes. They're ramming that whole idea down our throat. trying to prepare us for something, along with all these like survival shows that they're putting out there now. Hey, you know, at least you could saw it on TV. Don't like we didn't warn you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. What they want people to believe is that the Muslims are taking over, just like Albert Pike said in his in some of his writings, that there was going to be 3 world wars, and that the 3rd world war was going to be the Muslims, against world Zionism, and that kind of makes sense because I mean we're totally we're like Zionized potatoes.
Yeah. Well, what about in 1984? There's always a war. First, they're our enemy, then we're fighting them, then our enemies, then we're fighting them. It's going on right now in front of our eyes.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Albert Pike should know.
Mm-hmm.
It's so crazy. Everyone should be reading 1984 right now, and then it would open their eyes if they just read it and see that first we were in Syria, then we're not in Syria, now we're going back in Syria. So war, back and forth.
We've always been at war. We've never been at war.
That's
We've never been at peace, but
we've never been at peace.
There's only 11 countries not in conflict in the whole globe. That's terrifying.
Damn.
Peace doesn't exist. Peace is a myth.
It's
a state of mind.
A constant state of war. War is the health of the state.
Yeah, that's right. And where does that come from? 1984.
Yeah.
Peace,
War is
a curse word.
Peace is unity.
Can't we all just get along? You're going to jail
for this many years on the planet, and we still can't get along. That says a lot.
Well, I said it any number of times in some of my explanations to people or some of my communications. I said there can't, this amount of chaos that's been going on for as long as it has, all the things that have happened, it's just not a coincidence. It's there are groups that are doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Just constant. The drugs in our country, and then a lot of people grew up being like, well, man, and it's okay. I'm not, I just think that this whole thing where people just want to drink when kids grow, when they become teenagers and they get into college, drinking is the big thing, binge drinking, or a lot of people that didn't want to deal with drugs or getting high or anything like that, they were always about drinking heavily.
Oh my God, dude! I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But I was in Myers. I was shopping the other day, and these college dudes had this gigantic steel wastebasket over their shoulder, and then like 2 other guys had like giant bags of ice.
Right, getting ready for the weekend.
And I guess the cashier's like this, gay dude, and he's like telling me how the day before he waited on these guys that had one cart full of ice, and the other cart had like all this cheap vodka just brimming over it, and another cart had all the beer. I mean, oh my God, it's just this. They're not going to these educational places to learn. They're going to party. And the party starts now.
What they realize is that the party is going to be over soon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, look at these people that are still... People are still locked into this thing where they're sending their kids to college, which is something that any parent, would be proud to do. And I get that. I understand that. But we look at you look at the numbers, and you look at a lot of and the numbers are staggering. That as far as employment and things like that. But people are still locked into that mode where they still believe in this the American dream, and I totally believe that that it was the American dream was a psyop the whole time. I truly believe that people have that this the idea of this country was great from the beginning. But then even if you listen to Bill Cooper, you go back and you hear him say things like, because the documents of the country were written up and most of these people were Masons, that this was a plan from hundreds of years ago where America was going to be used as, the beacon of freedom while, taking over and being this, covertly being this empire that was pretty much being used by the scumbags to take over, the planet.
Absolutely right. You're right.
So I don't know, what to think about that. If anybody in the chat room or something wants to share that. But Bill Cooper, and of course we play a lot of Bill Cooper's, information from time to time during the days and weeks, in the broadcast of UCY. And he says that it's always been the Masons have always been a organization that has been less than more secretive than anything else, and when anything's done in secrecy, like Jack Kennedy said, it's repugnant and in a free society.
That's right.
And another thing is, you see the same names popping up all the time, all through this. Kissinger and
Right.
Rumsfeld and all. I mean, way back. They have been in the background. And I just seen a clip with Oliver North talking about this. Now, how come he popped up all of a sudden?
Well, he's been a freaking Fox commentator for quite a while. He actually had his own show.
See, I don't watch TV. I didn't know that. I just, wow, where did he come from?
Well, because he did exactly their bidding, and he was rewarded with a freaking TV spot.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely, Alphabet Agency, so.
Sure.
Yeah, no kidding. I watched
from the
all
beginning.
He
was the one who said, when asked, who do you fear the most? And he said Osama bin Laden. So he was the one who kind of set the early stages for what we saw in 2001.
Right.
I forgot about that. You're right.
Yup.
Wow.
So, yeah, the memory hole, see?
Mhm.
You got to bring that stuff back out to the forefront to make the connections. And
I might even be able to pull it up here on... Let me see if I can find it on YouTube, because it's probably on there. Who do you fear the most?
Do you have the ability to play clips?
Well,
Probably not from
my
your pad.
current configuration, but I can. Let me see, Oliver North. Well, I'm on my laptop now. Oliver North.
That's all I have is a laptop, so I can't play clips.
Oliver North.
It would help if we could play clips. Maybe I should figure that out somehow.
Let's see here.
But it was a good point.
It's a long clip, but
it was a good point, though, Sorry, with all those people that you mentioned, because it's the same damn thing that's existed since this country's inception. I think I said this yesterday, with all of these people in the good old boys club, and the Masons, and the rest of it.
The clip?
Huh?
What's that? Sorry?
Never mind, it's a background clip on me.
Oh, I actually heard a little bit of that time.
Yeah, can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it really, really faintly.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know which clip it is. I gotta go find it.
Oh, that's alright. It's not like we can play it. I wouldn't worry about it.
But all this stuff was all, I mean, all this stuff was absolutely just totally controlled. Any kind of hearing that we have is just window dressing.
Yes.
Because nothing ever happens.
I know, I've always said that. Whoever,
nothing ever happens.
And they even state that. They never say, well, we want to find the guilty person and put him in jail. No, they always state, well, we want to make sure this doesn't happen again. That is the reason for all of them. But no one ever goes to jail. It'll be interesting with the IRS one to see if they.
Yeah, well, that's nothing's going to happen with that. I mean, look at Fast and Furious. Look at Benghazi. Look at all this stuff. Nothing's being done. It's all just smoke and mirrors to make it look like we have some semblance of checks and balances when we have shite.
I've been saying that for a long time. Why do we even have these committees? What are they?
Soap opera.
Yeah,
it's a soap opera. Is all this.
Mm-hmm.
See, they're not going to talk about like Benghazi and Fast and Furious. Eric Holder won't. He'll like I was reading, the DOJ suing this little town because they denied a mosque to go up or a Muslim community center to go up, Islamic community center.
He's
big deal about that, man. Let me tell you.
He's fighting for everyone else's rights, but the American people's rights.
There you go.
And he's out down there in Ferguson parading around, his tail feathers out.
Plus, of course, he also a lot of the provocateurs down there were from the DOJ.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we are literally in the grips of evil, and for them to just blatantly do all the things that they've done, and nothing happens, like 20 plus scandals with Obama, and all he does is just
go golfing.
That's all. He is the. I mean, how anyone can blindly entrust anyone. I mean, people will look at our system and say, this is the best system that the world's ever designed, right? Because a lot of countries don't have this.
It used to be, maybe.
It used to be, but even when you can say, all right, one person is the president,
right?
I just think that there should be some kind of panel. Mm-hmm. And there should be maybe 5 people that are like a council, or you would say, like I was talking about that show the other day, the elders, we got just as much of a chance with one person as with 5 of things going in a certain way, but if things were done in a certain way. But it's just, what it is? It's just monarchy disguised as American presidency. That's all it is.
You're right.
That's corrupt.
It's monarchy disguised as American presidency. He is the king.
Right. It's all about the bloodline. You're right.
And you can see wherever they go, whatever they do, they shut down everything. They shut down traffic. They do all this stuff. Yeah. You know what? That's just fucking. Royalty. That tells you right there that we're seen as these people's just bitches and
all over the world. They show the Obamas spending millions going on vacations when people are living in the streets here. Now, what's the difference from any other country that has a king?
Right. No, they're just parasites. They're parasites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're subjects.
Just like the monarchy over there. And then you see people. I've run into any number of people, and it's more so women that are. I mean, obviously, you ladies know that the Queen and these people over there are parasites.
That's right.
And they should not be praised, and they should not be. In this day and age, why should we still have kings and queens? I mean,
right.
Haven't we moved, further ahead in society where kings and queens and heirs to thrones are,
that's antiquated. That's totally antiquated. Let's get rid of it.
That's right. But you see a lot of women. When the wedding happened, this last wedding, and I don't blame so much Diana's children, because they knew what they did to their mother, unless they're totally blood-sucking Baphomet friggin' creatures.
Well, I don't know. They're brainwashed from birth.
Yeah, from birth.
I don't know that they would torture them into some kind of trauma mind control.
You don't have to when they're babies, though. You don't have to torture them, but you can.
Yeah, you just got to coddle them and give them everything they want, and then they just become spoiled. But I don't doubt that that they love their mother and everything, and if they found out.
Diana was the victim of that trauma-based mind control since.
Oh, totally, yeah.
She's absolutely one of those victims.
Yep, and the Charles, that friggin' a piece of filthy. But of course, he's better than everybody else. He's royalty, so he's better than everybody else. That shouldn't even be.
And that interbreeding, you can see it in them. I know. You can see it.
They got that little monkey look to him, like Charles does.
Yeah.
They're freaking with monkeys, man.
He's a total friggin' ape.
Oh my God, we're gonna get targeted by MI6. I just know it.
Well,
oh my God.
The bottom line here is that we do have monarchy here in this country.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You know who it is? The freaking Bushes.
And Gates. And so many of these people.
Yeah, Bill Gates. He thinks he's part of the monarchy.
I'm going to take the ice water challenge, okay?
Don't talk about that. I'm so sick of that.
I'm going to challenge because I'm a challenger. I'm Bill Gates, okay? I'm going to take the ice water challenge, and I'm going to do it like technically. I'm going to create the greatest water dumping system that you've ever seen, and then I'm going to challenge others to do so. I'm a nice man, by the way. I don't paralyze 40,000 children with vaccines like Alex Jones says.
Right. Yeah, that's disgusting.
Oh my God, that's hilarious! I had to mute because I'm laughing so hard.
He's vile. I mean,
Gates is an idiot. He just surrounds himself with very intelligent people. Like he has a school here.
I believe he's intelligent. I believe he's intelligent because he's definitely gotten the education and everything like that. Definitely hand chosen. Like we've heard, his father is still like in the inner core of Planned Parenthood. But the thing about him is, I saw probably about like within the last month, there was a 60 Minutes segment where it was talking about a guy that probably like the 10th or somewhere in the 10th or 12th richest men in the world, and I forget what his name is, but he's a guy that worked directly with Bill Gates to create Microsoft, and then when things kind of exploded in the popularity and the monetary abundance, he kind of just took his money and just kind of like disappeared. But
right, Jules has talked about that guy multiple times. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm gonna find out what his name is.
Shame on me.
But he was a fascinating guy. They went around, they showed all the different, a lot of the different places where they interviewed him and everything, and he seemed like a pretty good guy, like somebody who wouldn't want to be part of something malicious,
evil. Yeah.
And so Bill Gates is in some of these videos where they're explaining how all this stuff happened, and he is an absolute dickbag. He's the kind of guy that sits around the conference table in the conference room and just is just like, no, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. That's stupid. Nobody wants to do that. Just a total control freak where you just want to punch him in his beady friggin' eyes.
Dickbag.
Yeah, he's a dickbag. Yeah, he's a bag of shit.
Punch him in the dickbag.
He's a bag of shit.
Dude, he rocks at his table. Remember? He rocks in his chair. He's been seen rocking in his chair at his desk, which is really, really creepy. Remember that story?
Yeah, I do.
That's where we got the rocking in the chair from. It's Bill Gates rocking in the chair.
But he's so evil, I'm rocking. I mean,
that's in this country, we're told that these people are the greatest thing ever, that they're they're a success story and all this other stuff.
Pedestal, yeah.
Right, that they've come out of nowhere from they don't really they don't go so much into. Of course, they're not going to tell you that his father was Planned Parenthood and all that other stuff. Okay, they just put these, like Warren Buffett out there, that he's the greatest thing. Like Fox News wants to blow Warren Buffett. They're just like, oh, Warren Buffett said the other day, Warren Buffett said that he was going to masturbate in Times Square. And I think that's amazing. He just doesn't, there's just no, this guy makes money no matter what. He's just one of the greatest Americans ever.
Oh, I know. It's the biggest scumbag. And
they're just fucking vile, baby-killing,
yes,
blood-drinking
pedophiles.
Yes, baby-killing, pedophilia.
$1.2 billion given to, abortion groups and things like that. $1.2 billion.
And that's the nice way they kill the babies.
And that's a nice way.
Yeah.
What nice money give? Oh, Bill Gates, the Gates Foundation is going to give $10 million, or was it 10 billion over the next 10 years? This was maybe 3 or 4 years ago, to do this whole vaccine campaign. And boy, oh boy, they're really getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his foundation's going over there and using Africans
yes.
And I'm telling you, that's probably how the Ebola got over there.
I'm going to tell you.
It is. It's how the Glasgow Smith.
I'm going to tell you that what we're seeing over there is, I don't think that they would want to create something that was, airborne, and something that would be really, really, really deadly. So what I think they've done is, I think they're spreading it. They're getting some of these body fluids or whatever it is, and they've kind of maybe aerosolized it or something, which is very scary.
Well, they're already saying that it's mutated.
Okay, well, they're going to say that. They're going to say that it's mutated, even if it hasn't. Of course, and then we could also be looking at a situation over there where we're getting information. There's very little coverage or something over there, so they're making it look worse than it is. But they could also be spreading it and saying that it seems that it's airborne, or that it's mutated into something that's airborne. Okay,
well,
because what they're doing with African over there, and that they just had that. Conference at the White House with all the murderous fucking African scumlords.
Yes, I've read that
were there. And see, Africa is huge. Africa's huge. They're focusing on that, and I think what they're doing is they're going to try to kill a lot of the indigenous people there, so that they can more easily rape and pillage and decapitate what's left of the country. Of the continent.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And then steal all the freaking resources.
Right, I mean, they've already got them all. I mean,
pretty much, yeah. Right.
They've AFRICOM's been.
But they just got to get rid of the real virus, which is the humans.
Yeah, they got to get rid of the people there that are going to cause them the most problems, and that's, of course, the indigenous people that know over the years that they've been shot up with toxins from the World Health Organization and things like that.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're really in like the in 5 gears. We're literally at like 3.5 now, because they're really kind of hammering down on this. I truly believe that, as I said, that the Ebola is being manually spread.
Yeah. Well, here let me read.
To make it look like it's airborne and that it's out of control.
Yeah. You know what, that's interesting. So yeah, think about that, you guys. What Shelley just said there, and let me read this real quick. It says the Ebola virus sweeping through West Africa has mutated repeatedly during the current outbreak, a fact that could hinder diagnosis and treatment of the devastating disease, according to scientists who have genetically sequenced the virus in spores of its victims. So, what you just said about them actually running around manually spreading it could be it. Yeah, that. All right. The findings published Thursday in the journal Science also offer new insights into the origins of the largest and most deadly Ebola outbreak in history, which has killed more than 15,000 people in 4 countries. No, 1,500 people in 4 countries. Sorry, I didn't mean to say it's 15,000. In 4 countries, and shows few signs of slowing. It provided another reminder of the deep toll the outbreak has taken on health workers and others affected. As 5 of the paper's more than 50 co-authors died from Ebola before publication. So this is spreading pretty quickly, guys. In a collaboration led by scientists at Harvard University and aided by officials of Sierra Leone's health ministry, researchers sequenced Ebola virus's genomes from 78 patients beginning in the early days of the outbreak this spring. Those 99 samples, some patients were tested more than once, suggested that the outbreak began with a single human infection before spreading rapidly like a spark that grows into a wildfire. Alright. Ebola's arrival in Sierra Leone in May started with a funeral, according to Thursday's findings. A young pregnant woman tested positive for the virus. A young pregnant woman. Really? She was the first one that got it? Maybe because they vaccinated her? Because she was pregnant with a baby? Was treated at Kenya Government Hospital. Health workers who traced her contacts discovered that she and more than a dozen other women had attended the burial of a traditional healer who had been treating Ebola patients near Sierra Leone Guinea border. All of them have been infected. Alright, well, they're blaming it on a freaking shaman elder. I mean, give me a freaking break here.
Yeah, like they blamed the cholera outbreak on an Asian peacekeeper in Haiti.
Right. You have to remember, this is the U.S. media, and how do you know any of it's true?
Right.
Right. And how they really did it was they took a truck full of infected fecal matter and dumped it in the water.
Yeah. There you go. See?
Yep.
And it's not to say that that's what happened in this case. However...
Yeah. Bill Clinton was there. He was like, I did not spread cholera in Haiti with my penis, okay? I'm Bill Clinton. I am your first black president.
That's hilarious.
I love black people. I have an office in Harlem that has 17 armed guards. But I love black people, okay?
17 armed guards. That's hilarious. Oh my god. Alright, I'm done reading that because, well, let me just skim through it.
They're spreading it manually, and it could be, like Zori said, the vaccinating people with, with the Ebola strain, you know?
Yeah. Oh my god.
We're so fucked.
Yeah, I mean, so, okay, it could be as many as, 20,000. They're saying in the next 6 months it could increase to 20,000 infected. And so since May, it's been...
This is exactly what they want. This is exactly what they planned.
Mm-hmm. And remember your history. What did they do down in Mexico? They made that so big that they started forcing inoculations up here for that flu, and then come to find out there were hardly any people, and it wasn't even as bad as a regular flu. I always go back to that when they start fear-mongering into all these things that are happening, and yet I don't know anyone who's gotten sick. You know?
Not yet.
Well, that CDC whistleblower is, we'll see where that goes, but that CDC whistleblower and the autism, things like that, I mean, once, they're going to do, whatever happens, however, right now there's, they're doing, crisis control right now with this person from the CDC who has released the information saying that this was covered up, that was covered up. So
yes.
Well, look how long we've known that the inoculations have a direct link to autism, and nothing happens.
Well, I was involved with in the place that I worked. I was involved with the charities portion of it. I gave, but then somebody suckered me into, getting involved in it, and there was a few perks. So I mean, it was, so I did kind of get involved in it, and then there was a couple of events where a lot of the people, organizations that had gotten charity money, had gathered there and spoken about, or I'm sorry, they would speak about, hey, thank you for the money, and then tell us where the money that the company gave them, how it was used, and basically explaining what they did and how it benefited their organization. And then, of course, there was this a race for autism or something like that. And this guy was like, oh, and then he spoke, and he said, and no, autism is not caused by immunizations or vaccinations. And I was just like, I wouldn't give you a fucking dime.
You lost me. Goodbye.
Yeah,
I wouldn't give you a fucking dime. But you can't say anything there, because if you do, truth is treason, and you're a piece of shit if you fucking tell people the truth. That's literally where we are in the world today.
Shit is an honor.
And if you go against what Bill Gates is funding, then
how can you say that he's one of the greatest? He's one of the greatest businessmen of all. Well, you know what? Hey, stay a fucking businessman. Stay the fuck out of medicine. Stay the fuck out of philanthropy. You fucking piece of shit. Your father is a baby. Your father's a baby killer, and you're a baby killer too, Bill Gates.
That's
and
right.
People don't. Now, I posted this. I got like probably 500 plus contacts on a social network called LinkedIn.com, and it's mainly for basically, you're working. So maybe about 6 or 7 years ago, this one person who started working at the company sent me an invite. You have to get invited to LinkedIn.
Me too.
So this guy sent it, and then I was like, okay. And then slowly but surely over the years, it's just like, oh, yeah, I know you, connect. Oh, I know you, connect. And then people are like, oh, yeah, I know him, connect. And so I put on there that Bill Gates, I put it on there about him and his vaccination campaigns and the paralysis and all the other shit that has that he and his organization leave in the wake of their visit. And maybe a few people, actually, there's this one guy named Sean who connected with me, who comments on all the things that I put out there. And I'm probably going to have a conversation with him or something for, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get a number of people and maybe get like some kind of round table going of people that see this stuff and know what's going on. And then I don't know. I mean, I've got some ideas and stuff to find out what. Idea. But, that was it. I mean, I didn't get anybody that people are, and we obviously are not cowards, because we're out there. I'm not saying we're superheroes or anything, but we're not cowards. We get on and we talk about these things, knowing that the criminals aren't listening.
Yeah.
Okay. So the people that do not comment on this or do not read something when they see that, they're cowards. People are, and Eric Holder was right. There's very few things that fucking sloth lookalike is right about. And he said this week, I saw him, he said Americans are cowards, or basically, but that's his way of, he's allowed to.
He said Americans are cowards?
He said that, people are cowards in general. That's what he said. And
I don't know. Face the music about Fast and Furious, you freaking coward.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a piece of shit. And he's going to take on...
Look at the revolution. Only 2% of the people were in there in the beginning. You're always out there alone in the beginning.
Now, 98% of the people are cowards. And it's
and need to be eliminated.
And it's right. And he's saying, basically, the truth to a certain extent. And that's the truth. People see something, and rather than look at it face on and deal with it, they choose to not make a comment, like Alex Jones does when Max Kaiser said to him, he said, Kaiser was like, Israel's, murdering, there's genocide going on over there, and Alex, and he said, you're punting. That's what I just cracked up,
Yeah, I like that. You're punting.
Max Kaiser said, punting. You're punting, Alex. He said, you've gotta address this. he said, "You're punting," and then of course he was just like he tried to change the subject and all that other stuff. So
right.
So
well, I think the ones, like all of us, I know me, I am driven by this. It's not something I even choose to do. I'm driven to it.
Because it's the right thing to do.
And the right thing to do is not always the easiest, you know?
Right.
The easiest thing to do is turn away from, turn away from Gaza and say, Israel's got the right to defend themselves. Did you see the tunnels and the rockets? Did you see that?
There again, I don't even watch any of that because I don't know if any of it's true. It's just so both sides are
bullshit.
just.
And how did they get the cement and all the things to be able to build those tunnels? Yeah. I think Israel built them themselves.
Oh yeah.
And they're just and then of course Sean Hannity goes over there, that great American, and he's standing in there, right, with this guy, maybe one of his cameramen, and I tweeted, I didn't think gays were allowed in no offense against gays, but I mean, I had to say that about Sean Hannity because I mean, he literally, if asked, he would drop to his knees and blow Benjamin Netanyahu because
he would
blowing baby.
Like, he'll be like, "When does the BJ start? Because I'm ready to give it. I'm Sean Hannity. I'm a great American. I'm doing my part for Israel. I stand and blow for Israel." That's what he says. And these people.
And how about when John McCain went over there and was standing with the militants? Adjusting their tie, adjusting their terror ties. Mm-hmm.
Adjusting their terror ties.
Now do a good job for Israel, and we'll reward you with 72 virgins.
Yeah.
What did Robin Williams really say? It ain't 72 virgins, that's 72 Virginians, bitch!
Yeah.
We're gonna reward you. Yeah, John McCain. These people, I can't, you know what, I in my mind, I close my eyes and I imagine all of these traitors, Lindsey Graham, and John McCain, and all the rest of the scum, just hanging from their necks.
I know, I seen a town hall where these people called John McCain out. I mean, they called him out bad. And his only response was, well, run for office then.
Oh, my God, I hate
that.
Run for office so that we can destroy you.
I'm still in office, so you must be wrong and I must be right.
Well, we know his daddy was covering up for Israel for blowing up the
Vietnam hero. Oh man, there's been so many veterans that have called him out on that.
Dude, and he'll never be able to outrun that particular ghost, that son of a bitch.
Eustace Mullins said, there's the Jews and then there's people in the pay of the Jew, and that's John McCain and Lindsey Graham, who's had sex with probably like 3 dozen children, and they say, listen, remember, if you don't play the game, those pictures are going to surface.
That's right. That's how they do it.
Of you with little Jason and Bobby and Timmy and Mike.
That's right. And even if they give them some, like, they're at a dinner party and they'll drug the next, they'll usually, that's how they do it. They'll drug your food and then they'll put little kids all over you and
listen, they didn't have to drug Lindsey Graham. They didn't have to drug
people are definitely willing to.
He probably sees little boys like hors d'oeuvres.
Yes.
I remember.
I swear to God, Charlie, you're absolutely right about that. I can guarantee that that's right. Because what they do is they'll make little snuff films and then they'll watch it later. You know what I mean? And they're involved in it. That's what they do. They do this over and over and over again. And that's the level of craziness that we're dealing with, people. And that's what you got to come to terms with. Otherwise.
Yeah, they're degenerates. These people are degenerates. It's such a level that there's no coming back.
And there isn't. And they want to make the rest of society that way too.
And so they cover each other's butts all the time.
Virus and the lot. That's how they're doing it. There's this teenager that I know, and she is so into the freaking evil it's making our head spin. It's like she's choosing to be a bad person because she's into the vampire culture and all this crap, and it's prevalent among the youth. It's mind control. And satanic mind control is what it is. On a giant
public schools, look at, they have girls standing in front of the 8th grade class role playing as if they're lesbians.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes. So they're trying to take the rest of society down with them, man. Let me tell you.
And how this is not the protocols, I can't even begin to. You look at the protocols, you read some of the protocols, that were written. I mean, even if they were written by the Illuminati and not, a Jewish group that wanted to take over the world.
Right.
It's exactly what we're seeing here. The drugs being shipped in.
Yep.
And as I said, going back to the drug thing, when I was in high school, people were just like, they would be like, "Oh, you got any weed? Got any weed?" And I get it. People wanted to, most people in general, I think they just want to, numb themselves to life on a certain level. And hey, listen, I got stoned and listened to and went home and fell asleep to Rush moving pictures any number of times, okay, or Led Zeppelin, all right. But the drug culture is just another way that they infiltrate us and keep us at an arm's distance from reality.
Sure.
So, and of course, look at the heroin now that killed, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, yeah.
And countless others.
If you're a junkie, dude, you're not going to fight back.
Yeah. But it is.
If you're an alcoholic, you're not going to fight back. I mean, you're just, if you're a drug addict, period, you're not going to be fighting back. You're a tweaker,
And you know what? I know a lot of people in this movement that smoke pot, and they are fighting back.
Well, I'm not talking about pot. I'm not talking about pot at all. I'm talking about the hardcore shit. Alcohol, freaking heroin, meth.
And I think they all have a good, application. I think maybe cocaine probably has a number of different things. I mean, look at DMT.
And look at heroin. You know what? You will never see a heroin addict with a cold. And as long as they're supplied with their heroin, they can go to work. They can function just like anyone else.
I know functioning junkies.
Mm-hmm.
I know functioning junkies. I know lots of functioning. Go ahead.
But, I mean, if they're supplied with it, it's been proven over and over. The only reason it becomes a crime and in the doses have to get bigger and bigger is because of the dealers and the way it's given to them. But they've had experiments with this and everything, and they do not catch cold. They function fine. It's just that it becomes a crime because they have to keep paying more and more and more.
It's addictive, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But actually, it's the dealers that make them turn into criminals. If they could get it legally, they show that they fit into society quite well. So this was tested back in the 60s.
Yeah, Amsterdam's done a lot of research in that area as well. And they give needles out for free in Amsterdam.
Right, and they found that the crime rate goes down when addicted people get their whatever they're addicted to. Then they're able to just go out and function with other things. They aren't constantly thinking of how are they going to get it,
right?
And stealing from people. And it's you cannot be a free society and have prohibition. It doesn't work. Period.
Well, I mean, everybody knows that there were opiate tinctures and cocaine that it used to be. It used to be sold over the freaking counter, like
they know what's best for us.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
they know what's best for us.
Well, of course,
our controllers and rollers. You know what that and then Meryl Streep said it in the movie. She said, when people are left to make their own choices, they usually make bad ones.
Yeah.
That's why we make them for them.
Yeah, it's like Obama said. I just watched it where he said the common person isn't smart enough to do this, so we have to do it for them.
Right. That was the Manchurian Candidate, right?
No, this was Obama.
No, I know, but I'm talking Charlie. You brought up Meryl Streep. Was that from the Manchurian Candidate, Charlie?
No, that was actually from that Giver movie where she was
okay.
They were sitting there getting ready to kill the girl because she was tainted and, she hadn't taken her vaccines.
Well, she said something like that in the Manchurian Candidate as well. So, yeah these people tend to say just what's on their minds usually. So, yeah, Zori, that's right.
Well, the propaganda in the movies is apparent over the years. I mean,
very much.
For them to say
Star Trek. I've been watching all the old Star Trek here lately, and the Federation has the same symbol as the UN.
Yeah,
there's so many things in it. Yeah.
Roddenberry at different points said that admitted to a lot of or admitted to a good portion of the propaganda, but. You got the phrases and things like the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
And the communication thing, there was your cell phone. If you follow old sci-fi movies, you'll start seeing things that, they knew about all this a long time ago.
Sure. And they're like usual, they're at least 50 years ahead of what they admit that is just now coming out, and they're saying, "Ooh, that's the new cutting edge thing," when really they've
been doing it for years.
Yeah.
And they say that every organization or whatever has rules, and one of the rules of the what do you want to call them, Illuminati, secret society, or whatever, says that they have to tell us ahead of time in any form that they want.
Yes.
And you see it over and over in the movies and different things.
It's true.
Well, it's true. It's like you were warned. They could say at any time, you were warned over and over and over again about us.
Georgia Guidestones.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so, Zori. That's absolutely right. And that, like I said earlier, with all these survival shows that are on TV, Doomsday Preppers and all this shit, you were definitely warned, and you were shown what to do. So, if you guys didn't go out and do it, then, we start bringing them in over the border, and, don't say we didn't warn you.
Yeah, and the longer you've been watching these people, the more you really, it's so easy. I can watch a news show and I can just sit there and know which ones are true and which ones are, off base. And one way is go in between channels, I hear. You can go to one channel and then go to another news channel and you hear the very same things, line for line.
Yeah, I know. That's interesting to do. Another interesting thing to do is to look when like commercials are playing, look away from the TV and just listen to the sound. You can usually hear like the subliminal crap going on, like even in the background or even when the music's playing these high-pitched tones. And
I get a lot better news from my friend in Holland than I get here.
The sexual innuendos going on in those commercials, it just makes me sick, man.
I tell you what,
this country is so hung up on sex. We don't want to talk about it. It's a dirty word and everything. But what do they sell everything with? Sex.
Yeah.
Right there is
Yep.
Big conflict.
That's
horrible.
horrible.
What you got to do is go to RT.com or just go to Google and be like RT video screen, RT video stream.
Uh-huh.
And you can just sit there and you can watch it right on your computer if you don't have it on your cable. A lot of cable companies out there have RT.
Yeah.
Russia
I got
Today,
rid of my cable years ago when they went digital, from analog to digital, because I knew digital was a two-way communication. I just canceled. I said no way. Yeah.
Well, somebody said they needed to free up the analog bandwidth that they have been using all that time to be able to communicate. They were going to build technology that was going to communicate on those older frequencies or whatever.
That sounds better than the government really giving a damn if you have high definition or not. You know, that was a big selling point too, why they were going digital. I knew from the get that digital was two-way, so that told me right off the bat that, you know, they want to be able to get what's going on in my home. And so,
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, how you can tell if you've got any kind of electronic device that has a camera on it is just take a video camera, one of the the video cams, and just scan the room with your, with your equipment, whether it's an Xbox or whether it's a television, a flat screen TV, or a cable box or something, and you will see if there's a camera, you will see the camera in the video, like as you're looking through through it, like you're not recording, you're just looking through it, like preparing to record something or whatever, and you'll be able to see see that camera. You'll see it flicker. You'll see it.
I used to have the phone that took pictures and video, and when I started thinking about, I got rid of it. I have a track phone now. It doesn't take pictures. It doesn't go on the internet. It doesn't do anything. All it does is call and receive. That's it. And and I ask people not to bring theirs in my home. So
yeah, that's reasonable.
You want to
like a little dictatorship going on over there.
We all know, and everyone just accepts the fact that you're being recorded at all times. Well, I, in my home, take everything that I can do to put it to a minimum. Even though I'm out here on the radio, in my home, I don't. There's certain things that I don't allow, and people should do that.
Well, they'll listen to you on your computer if you've got a computer with a camera on it.
Yeah, well, I unplugged that one. The only time I go on that one is if I have a virus or something going on with this one, then I'll plug it in. But normally, no, I don't have one that has a camera. And I don't use a camcorder either.
Wow.
Yeah, I just, if everyone would take means to, protect themselves and put as little out there as you possibly have to.
Well, they got us all addicted, and they're getting us all addicted from a young age. I see parents all the time putting freaking cell phones in their toddlers' hands.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all the time to, watch movies and crap like that. It just makes me sick. I'm just like, oh, my God, do you realize what you're doing?
I know, and if everyone would just turn everything off, say for a week, they would be amazed at the change in their home lives.
Right.
But they won't. Like, there was a challenge out. Could you go 3 days without no internet and no cell phone and things like that? And it's easy for me. I love going out in the woods and not having nothing with me.
I didn't have anything last week except, and I didn't really have a cell phone signal, so I really just had my camera and my video, which really came in handy because I was able to shoot pictures of the bald eagle, and which I was grateful.
And it was. Didn't you talk to people more, or did you see people while you were on vacation?
Yeah, I saw some people, up and down the beach and stuff. So,
and you tend to talk to people or acknowledge people, smile at people more when you're not so engrossed. Like when you see kids, it blows my mind when you. That's why I don't allow them to bring their phones in here either. Because if you came to visit me, I don't want your face looking down at your phone and doing Facebook and all that. If you come to visit me, you come to visit me. If I come to visit you at your home, I go to visit you, not sit and watch you play on a gadget.
Right.
Yeah. I'm a weird one, I know. It's hard to be my friend.
No, I think you're right. Anybody, it's become an absolute plague of even more ignorance, where everybody, no matter what they're doing, especially the children, especially young women, are just constantly. I remember being in the mall, or a mall, not the mall, but a mall. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching this, you're people watching, and then you see this maybe 16, 17-year-old girl walk by, and her hands are out in front of her. She's holding her phone while she walks,
Mm-hmm.
and it's almost like imperfect, like as if, you ever see any of that synchronized swimming and all that other shit?
Right.
Yeah.
It's as if she's like standing there, her elbows and arms are locked to her side, and she's like, and then she looks over and she looks at her friend and she talks, and her hand doesn't move, and her phone is like perfectly in her hands, just in case she gets a text. I mean,
Right.
I'm telling you,
Mid-sentence, they'll just leave you.
this is one of the sickest things I've seen, and it's just this unbelievable,
Insidious plot.
insidious. Just to, I don't know. I mean, I understand that they're there. They could, the cell phones could be something in the realm of the mark of the beast, but it's just the way that people react to their cell phones, how they react to,
Well, a lot of young people are losing the ability to socialize with people. I mean,
Right.
people are they have friends online that they pay more attention to than the friends they have in real life, like their family and everybody. But yet you have this friend you will never meet ever in your whole life, but yet you trust them more, you talk with them more than you do to your own family or friends. This is sick.
It's true.
It's
true
sick.
in I would say probably 90% of the households. And I mean, there's like Amish people that
And
don't.
even they are even using cell phones now.
I mean, if you asked,
well, I don't know
some
about that.
people
I've not
today,
seen that.
would you, if you had the choice of either losing your phone or like losing a friend
Holy crap.
or something like that, maybe
And
not
it's just
dying,
we
but
put
just
there.
saying, choose between your phone and
your
this,
Mm-hmm.
they choose the fucking phone.
Yeah, that's sick.
A lot of them would.
They
Some
choose
of my
the
friends
phone.
would, but yeah.
Because
they
it's everything. It's everything that they are.
Right.
Well, look, they use it as punishment. Also, mothers, fathers, they go, okay, give me your cell phone for a week.
Right.
Even in that one movie, there was a movie called This Is 40. I don't know if you saw it. It was Paul Rudd was in it. It was kind of like the same group from a few of these other movies. But the oldest daughter, there was two daughters. The oldest one, they were sitting outside, and then they told the girl, they were like, listen, we're spending too much time on the computer. Or we're spending too much time on, they're like, we're going to turn the wireless off, and then the computer, you'll be able to, use the computer that's in the living room or something. And that kid got, even in a movie, she got bent, man. She was bent. She was like, this is wrong.
She had a meltdown.
Well,
She had
did you
total
see that
meltdown.
movie where all these people fell in love with this one computer program? It was on just recently, and that computer program, this one guy was taking it on picnics with other people, and the computer program could speak with the other people like we're talking right now. And I mean, it was devastating. Hundreds of thousands of people thought they were the only ones involved with this computer program, and then it just went away one day, just died. No one could communicate with it, and it's a great movie, and I wish I could remember the name of it, but it shows how easily we are manipulated by these gadgets.
Yeah.
And they become real.
Yeah, there's a Doctor Who episode like that too, where they've got this. It looks like those little Bluetooth things that were in everybody's ears, and and everybody stops, like they were walking around the city, going to their jobs or whatever, and then everybody stops, like frozen in time, to hear the news downloads in their ears. It's crazy.
Well, in this movie, it's like all of a sudden this guy notices that the computer isn't reacting fast like it used to, and so he asks, he goes, "Are you talking to other people?" And she said, "Only a couple hundred." Yeah, I mean,
That's hilarious.
This was a great, and one of his coworkers said that they had a computer. They were involved with a computer personality, but I mean, it was just so awakening.
Yeah, what I think that it represents is pornography.
I think so too. I think you're dead straight nail on about that, Shali. I think you're right.
It represents pornography and how people, rather than well, I mean, we're seeing more of it. Porn addiction, all this other stuff, and it's just like violence or other things. I mean, I imagine that there's a desensitization to it.
Well, right. Why do you think guys are still joining the military? Because a lot of them play Battlefield, and it becomes real to them, and they think they can go out and do the same thing in real life. They're conditioned that way.
I can kill for free.
Yeah. Well, then you go over there, and that's why we have so many vets coming back that it wasn't what they thought, and then they couldn't live with the things that they did do in real life.
Yeah. You never hear about the Iraq veterans against the war, that group that was over there, and then they came back, and then they're speaking out against it. You never hear any of that on.
Oh, you know what? Winter Soldier. They had a whole convention of it, but the media wasn't there hardly. But look up Winter Soldier. It was all these soldiers coming back telling the truth. One guy took his middles off and threw it to the ground, and this one guy did such an awesome speech. It was
I remember that.
I came home and I was a terrorist. It brought back the thoughts of the women that I pulled from their homes and the horrible things that I did. They have been speaking out about what happened.
And what was the name of the second Captain America movie? The Winter Soldier.
Oh.
I'd seen that. I didn't see the movie, but I seen the name and I went, oh God.
Apparently it
was pretty cool because they pretty much, on some level, exposed exactly what. Of course, they called this group Hydra, which was like, and of course, they were Nazis, by the way.
Of course,
they were Nazis, by the way. Mm-hmm. The single most dangerous scourge on the planet. So yeah, it makes sense. But they all, at the same time, that they were able to create, and infiltrate the government, and then of course Robert Redford's in it, and he's like, we got to tear everything down if we're going to make something new. So they were going to use this this device to kill large portions of the population, and of course Captain America had to stop it. Right, but listen, ladies, I have to take off. It was thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, dude, it was great having you on. Anytime, okay.
Have a set, yeah, sure. Have a safe holiday weekend, everybody out there, everybody in the chat room, and
you're going to be on Sunday.
I'm pretty much thinking, yeah. At this point, it might be a little bit too late to do a pre-recorded thing. So
yeah.
I think I'm definitely going to be live. So. So we'll talk soon, and have a great Friday and a great rest of the weekend there.
Right on. Well, thanks, Charlie.
Take care. Have a great one. Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, I love it when he comes on.
I know.
He brings a lot of humor to it, yet, while doing facts. That's why comedy is so important now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Comedians are the only ones that can come out there and say the truth without, not all of them just being attacked. People listen better, like Carlin.
He should do some stand-up political stand-up, because he is hilarious. I mean, he has me rolling on the floor all the time. He busts out into Bill Clinton. It's hilarious. I love it.
All right. On our Room 101, we had one, just comedians, speaking the truth to people.
Yeah, like
Bill Hicks.
Yeah, Bill Hicks. He's my favorite. He's my favorite.
Him and Carlin are mine. I love that tribute, Electron. Everyone should listen and watch that video. It's called The Electron on YouTube. But it's clips of Bill Hicks and Carlin.
Neat.
Awesome video.
Yeah, I mean, George Carlin's awesome. Now we've got
Lee Camp.
Lee Camp, yeah.
Now he's on. He's on RT now.
Is he?
Yes, he has a show.
Oh, I didn't know he had a whole. Okay, I think.
Yeah, he has a show. It's
been like
what's the name of it?
Months, hasn't it? Since that. Happened. It's been a few months since that's happened, hasn't it?
He's had the show a while now.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Like,
I'm trying to remember the name of it. I'm looking up my videos right now because I've downloaded a bunch of them. But yeah, he's on, and I've been watching a few because I keep hoping that he doesn't sell out.
Right, because as soon as that money starts rolling in, man.
And like the guy from Young Turks, he said the perks are what gets you, not the money, but the perks that go along with it.
Mm-hmm. And as soon as you start getting widely known and recognized, that's when you get tested. So we'll see how sound Lee Camp is or isn't. We don't know yet.
Yeah, I've caught a couple things in his show, but I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, me too. Because
he's woke up a lot of people with his humor. I mean,
yes.
He's our second Lee. Carlin, really. He has a mixture of of Carlin and Hicks.
George Carlin.
George Carlin and Hicks. So, yeah. Just hope he keeps up the good stuff.
Yeah. Don't sell out, dude.
Yeah, that would be hard.
But it is true. I mean, through humor, that's it really, people tend to listen a little more. You know what I mean?
And you have people repeating, I went seeing this comedian and blah, 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 and it gets, and it starts settling in, I think. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Plus he's funny as hell.
I love it when Charlie does all those voices. It's funny.
Yeah.
He does a good Paul Joseph Watson too. It just cracks me up every time. I laugh and laugh and laugh. So
I wish I had that ability to, mimic others. I've never been able to do that.
Either. Or even to just, think of something funny, something that...
Like terrorist ties, straightening terrorist ties.
Yeah, I know. I was like, dude, that's funny as hell.
Yeah, so...
yeah, that was great. Perfect example.
Yeah. He is funny. He has a good way of. He comes across real well. He's very well spoken.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, and I so admire quick wit. I do. I don't have it. I wish I did. It's not something that you learn. It's just something in you. I've had many friends that have this real quick wit, and
me too.
I just go, how did they think of that?
Yeah, exactly. It's an admirable quality in a person. It's something that I'm attracted to.
Something Obama doesn't have.
Exactly. That's fucking shit.
Yeah, you didn't start your own business.
This son of a bitch is a dud in the mud. Quick.
For being a great speaker and needing a teleprompter, even when you're talking to kindergartners, is pretty bad.
Oh yeah. Or if you're George Bush reading a goat story upside down on the
He did that ice water challenge too. Oh God!
Oh, I saw that. Saw that, and he had
what's his wife throw the water on him. Yeah.
What's Georgie's wife's name?
I forgot. She's so important to my world.
I only can think of his mother, Barbie.
Barbie. When she went, you know what got me most about his mother? When he was running and people were getting down on him for doing drugs, she was out there going, well, don't be getting down on him for that. And my reaction was, how many people are in prison because they were doing just what your son did, but everybody got down on them? Oh. I hated that woman ever since.
Man, that woman is like the grandmother of evil.
She is. And I seen her when Bush Sr. was running for office. He came to Reading at the park up there, and I went to listen. That was the first time I had ever heard anyone verbally say the words New World Order. And when he said that, the hair on the back of my neck went up, and I had to get out of there so fast. I ran.
Yeah, oh yeah. Wow, you actually saw him say that live?
Yes, the very first time I ever heard anyone say it out loud, and it was at, and they were telling people, "We want Bush," to chant, "We want Bush," and I found that very hilarious. But right after that, when he said that, I literally ran from there, and I was just terrified.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a moment I will never forget as long as I live.
Well, I love that Ministry song that has the clip of his voice saying "A New World Order" over and over and over.
Yep, and to hear him say it live.
I think the actual song's called "New World Order."
Yeah.
Oh my God, we are at the end of the show practically.
Wow, that went quick.
And I am not at my computer to close the dang show out. So I'm going to have to mosey over here. I'm across the room. This cord on my earphones, like, my headphones stretches across the room so I can go over and, like, if we're just talking and...
I miss my cordless. I miss my cordless so much.
I was all snuggled on my couch with my sleeping bag on just now. Oh.
Now we know.
Yeah, that's it.
So if I don't get a response from you, you fell asleep.
Right. Or I'm not at the computer. I'm AFK, man. Oh, let me see. Let me figure this out here. All right. Yikes.
Oh, today's Friday, yeah.
Today is Friday. I pretty much don't know, other than what's going on tonight, what's going on. Well, I mean, I guess, let me see.
Well, coming up, you have Vocal
Yeah, what is coming up at 1 o'clock? It's the Edge.
Local with Will Roberts.
Yeah, I never, say the replays anymore, really, just because they're a replay and...
Oh, yeah, okay, live.
I just go with the live shows.
John Stokes, Jack
John
Blood
Stokes,
after
Jack.
him.
Yep.
And then at 6 p.m., Anti-Tyranny News Radio with Josh. And then at 11, the Anti-Media Radio with Nick Barnaby.
Yay!
So those are the live shows coming up. There, you can go snuggle back up.
That's right. Oh, thank you. Oh, that was cool.
Everybody have a safe holiday. Watch out. The cops will be out in force looking for any little thing that they can get you for.
Yeah, we'll probably run a replay on Monday for Monday just so we can get a nice 3-day block.
Ooh, I'll have to find out if you. I'm going out of town.
Oh, you're going out of town. Very good. Have a great time, everybody. Be safe out there.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.